just recently, my wife and I were talking about the early days of being in business together and how we were working those 12-hour days, but we have no desire for that anymore. So I want to get into how do you actually do this? But I think freedom drives most people. I've helped thousands of people get into business. Freedom is the reason why they get into it, but most people don't experience the freedom once they are an entrepreneur. And I was just reminded too, you were speaking into the Franchise Tribe Mastermind about a month ago. You were one of the guest speakers and you talked about some of this stuff. One of the things that you said really hit me. You said you don't have to wake up like at 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. to be able to do some of this stuff. And you hear that a lot. Some of our good friends talk about getting up early and whatnot, but I love just your perspective on that because some people just aren't early morning people. And I wanted to share that for anyone that's listening that's like, hey, this is going to be the same stuff that I've heard before. Trust me, this is not the same stuff that you've heard everywhere else. So Craig, where does an entrepreneur that's driven by freedom, but is experiencing 12 hours a day of work actually start?
Yeah, the first thing to do is, great question, by the way. It's the first thing to do is that self-reflection and introspection. And there's two things that will really open up somebody's time. And the first is identifying all the negative time sucks. A lot of us, we rush to okay, if I want to be productive, that means I got to get up earlier. I got to do these cold showers. I got to, go really hardcore on this stuff. No. First of all, it's just like weight loss. It's not about adding more things. It's about, first of all, what's stopping you from losing weight? Well, you go to Cheesecake Factory, you have 2,000 calorie appetizers at Applebee's. If we remove those negatives, you're going to probably start losing weight, and it's going to be very simple for you. Same with our time. Are you watching 4 episodes of Netflix a night? Are you drinking 2, 3, 4 alcoholic drinks a night? Are you sleeping in? Are you, on social media 3 or 4 hours a day? Are you getting in a lot of political arguments? I mean, it's very easy to get sucked into this thing right here, the phone. And if you don't set up systems to protect yourself from the negative, just like if you don't set up systems to keep the junk food out of the house or to prevent yourself from overeating when you do go to a restaurant, if you don't have systems in place, if you don't have accountability to a coach or a mentor or a buddy or peer group or a trainer or whatever, you won't be able to remove those negatives. So the number one thing that we do to help people be more productive without getting up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., or even 6 a.m. is to figure out through that self-reflection, what's stealing my time? What's stealing my time? Because everybody listening to this, whether you own a franchise or you have many franchisees, you have systems in place so that nobody's stealing your money. Every single year when you do your taxes following the system that prevents the government from stealing too much of your money. They're going to take some of your money, but you do everything you possibly can. You set up systems so that you protect yourself. But when it comes to time, which if you have children, is a much more valuable currency than money, we actually have very few systems that stop people from stealing our time. In fact, we've set up our lives where it's almost that we're just allowing people and newsletters and social media and our phone and all these bad habits just to come in and hold us up at gunpoint and take all the time out of our little time cash registers. So first of all, identify the stealers, the thieves of your time. And once we've done that, well, whether it is the Netflix or the social media or something, we can start building in the things. And you could be removing apps from your phone. You could be unsubscribing from email newsletters, which is something that you should almost do on a monthly or quarterly basis. It's just, why am I on this? Unsubscribe, 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 unsubscribe. Because every minute you spend reading some stranger's email newsletter, you're stealing from your kids or you're stealing from your own workouts if you're struggling to be in good health. So remove all the toxic temptations and the distraction bombs. And sometimes that also means, you have to remove yourself from certain environments. Like if you're a good boy or good girl 5 or 6 days a week, but then, you meet up with one friend after work on Thursday or Friday, it becomes 4 hours in a bar. And then the next morning you're hungover and you can't do anything. You've got to remove yourself from that environment. And I used to be a binge drinker, Eric. So I hung around guys who, we'd love to meet up and drink. And, every Saturday was just, it was like 12 hours of drinking with these guys. And I didn't want to lose them as friends, but I wanted to lose binge drinking as a bad habit. So I simply changed my meetups with those friends to very early on either Sunday or Saturday morning, or sometime during the week for physical activity. They were into hikes, they were into working out. So I would still remain in friendship with them, but the system I created for the friendship did not have negative consequences. So that's number one.